What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is United vs. Everybody. I am your host, Sean, and it is a little bit of a Man United News Roundup on a bright and sunny Sunday afternoon. I don't know what it's like where you are, but thank you guys for stopping by today. We are here to chat a little bit about some transfer news. We've got a little bit of reflection from Ruben Amorim as well. He did sit down recently and do an interview to kind of reflect on his year in charge, things like that. So we've got some quotes that I want your guys' thoughts on, and some interesting results over the weekend. So we're going to dive into all that and more today. You guys know how we do things here on United vs. Everybody. How's everybody's weekend been going? Who's watching some of the matches this weekend? Sorry, I'm just getting my stuff up here. Anybody watching any of the matches today? I know I just got done watching North London Derby, and it was pretty rough, to say the least. What are you guys getting up to? Let me know. Let me jump in the chat first and see who's in and around here. Big up Rob in the chat today. Yes, please. So he's got, I did put a poll in the chat as well. We're going to talk a little bit about some transfer news. Rob's got thoughts. We'll come back to that, Rob. But yes, do hit that notification bell. And he's got some tips for you guys, it looks like, too, and a way to get notified whenever anything goes live, so you guys don't miss out on anything. Does that work too for posts in the community tab? You guys know there are a lot of posts in the community tab. If you don't go check that regularly, you will miss out on a lot of things: polls, links to things, sales. That's how I pronounce a lot of the sales in the United vs. Everybody store. So, but yes, I appreciate that. Always waving the flag. Big up, Sanjay. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, Sanjay. Where you at today? Let us know, Sanjay. Anybody who wants to join me over here on the no thanks to Carlos Baleba side of the line in the sand, there's still time to jump over to this side of the fence, because he was awful this weekend. Gave away a pen. Needlessly was giving away possession under zero pressure. He played, I think, a back pass that went out for a corner or something, and just wasn't really switched on. He just wasn't really up for it. Did you notice too that Brighton, his teammates were just kind of passing him? It's like they didn't want to give him the ball. They just kind of passing him around him. And once again, subbed at halftime. So I'm not sitting here gloating because he's crap. It's just, I've been saying it for weeks now. The guy just, something's off in his head. I don't know if he's just getting linked or whatever, or maybe it was just a bit of a flash in the pan last season. But I'm all set if we don't sign Carlos Baleba. I'm ecstatic that we didn't spend $100 million on him in the summer. He's only played 90 minutes in the league once this season. Like, something's off. So I'm not convinced he can handle the pressure of United if he can't even handle the rumors. I'm also content that we didn't get Liam Delap, because he is awful. I don't know if you guys watched Chelsea play Burnley, but yes, Chelsea ended up winning, but Delap was awful. His football IQ is in the mud. Like, he just doesn't know. He just doesn't get his head up. He doesn't know what to do in certain situations. Watching him play, it was like it was worse than Højlund when Højlund was at his worst run of form when it comes to just decision making and whatnot in the final third. It's just bad, dude. Liam Delap just hasn't looked great. So Sanjay's in Malta, big up, and he's going to Amsterdam. Nice. I've only been to Amsterdam a couple times. Never left the airport because it's usually my layover when I'm on the way to Manchester. But hey, highlight of Amsterdam for me, did meet Nemanja Vidic in the airport because he was on my flight to Manchester. So I'm happy about that. So moving on. Anyone want to do a laugh at Liverpool moment? How about we do a laugh at Liverpool moment, because this shit's got me dying laughing. This is their last several fixtures. As you can see on top, we've got the Forest result, 3-0 Forest, 3-0 City. They did beat Villa, 3-2 loss to Brentford, 2-1 loss to United. I mean, we all remember that. This is 3-0 losses for Liverpool in their last 5 matches in the Premier League. This is with the best Premier League center back of all time, by the way, apparently, as well. 7 losses in their last 10 matches in all competitions, 6 in their last 7 in the league. I mean, anybody want to give odds on Arne Slot making it past Christmas? Bexy's in the house. Happy the Scousers lost again. Yeah, it's embarrassing. And this guy right here, sorry, this asshole talks way too much nonsense for being an absolutely bang edge center back, like way too much. He was out here talking all this stuff.
Popping all that good shit a second ago.
And just sitting here thinking that he got bass in his voice, that he's talking with chest, that he can say whatever he wants to Wayne Rooney, by the way, and just get away with it. Nah. And the funny thing is, this is how you can just, you banter without banter. You don't have to respond. You just let things go the way they go. Let the chips fall where they fall, and boom, this is what happens. Correct me if I'm wrong, too. I don't think, and you guys correct me, but I don't think Rio or Vidic lost more than 2 in a row at United in their career. You guys remind me if that's true or not. I think I read that somewhere once. I saw Jamie Carragher somehow thinks that Liverpool need to spend more money in January. They have to spend more money, apparently, even though they've spent literally half a bill in the summer. It's just funny to watch the pundits rush to defend Florian Wirtz, right? He needs time to adapt. It's a hard league to get into. Like, he costs twice as much as Benjamin Sesko, came from the same league as Benjamin Sesko, and Sesko's got goals. I mean, is it that hard? I don't get it. Y'all let me know what you think, man. But I heard, and it's going to get a little awkward because there are always going to be some people. So I heard a pundit during the Liverpool match basically get out the violin and say, "Oh, this is a club that's in mourning still. Don't forget." Now I get it. I'm sensitive to the fact that Diogo Jota lost his life, but I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound like I'm heartless. I'm not heartless, but and Justin will back me up on this if Justin pops in the chat. I literally said that if they go on a poor run of form, there will be Liverpool fans who use Diogo Jota's death as an excuse for that. And to hear that stuff is just, I think it's disrespectful personally. I think it's cowardly to use that as an excuse. And I don't know what the pundit's coming from that, but it's just, I think it's disrespectful personally, but it is what it is. And it doesn't really matter because they've got fans calling in Talk Sport and whatnot, basically saying like, no, we were bad last season after PSG. Like, it was really, really bad. And let's not forget, it's not like Virgil van Dijk hasn't been defending like a thought for years. By the way, this was when it all started. If you guys remember, just Jadon Sancho, probably the best thing he's ever done for us in a United shirt, was just starting the Virgil van Dijk meme train. So it's embarrassing. I think that we can all laugh. I love laughing at Liverpool. You guys know we've basically turned this into an annual thing, a normal everyday thing for the streams. We have our little laugh at Liverpool moment. The great thing is that they just keep giving me material. I don't have to just sit here and make it up. They just keep doing it. So Rob says his death has no impact. I mean, it might. I'm not trying to say it's not harsh and everything. I just knew that there were going to be people who were going to use it as an excuse. And I think that itself is a bit disrespectful. I think that there needs to be more blame looked at on Arne Slot, the players as well. You've got, everybody was sat here and was talking about how Marcus Rashford basically just kicked his feet up when he got his new contract. But I mean, didn't Van Dijk and Salah get new contracts recently? Everybody's out here, blaming Trent and stuff for all this stuff. It's just easy to find a scapegoat for your frustration and make excuses for this kind of stuff, man. T King's in the house. Big up, says we always seem to have the same weather Midwest. Yeah, I live in the Midwest. I live in Michigan. Or I just have the world's worst accent. But yeah, let me know where y'all are watching from. I'm always curious to see where the UVE community, how far reaching the UVE community is gotten in the last year or so. We've only been doing this about a year and a half-ish or so. I think we started April a couple of years ago. So it's been growing. Obviously, we're on the road to 3K. Remember my promise, if we get the 3K subs before Christmas, when Dylan and I are going over to Manchester, I'll do a giveaway, and the winner of the giveaway will get whatever they want from the Megastore while I'm there. It'll be the first and only time I've spent that much money that's gone directly to the club. So, but yes, that is my pledge. But it's up to you guys to get us there. So keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing, keep hyping the videos, importantly as well. Like Rob Taft says, yes. That's the best way to get us there. So, but yes, that was today's laugh at Liverpool moments. There's an excellent Rob. So if you're in the WhatsApp group, we do have a WhatsApp group now for starting 11 and Legends members. Rob shared a tweet. It was a video clip of Scousers after the match, just laying into Arne Slot. Apparently, I didn't know, and this is a great thing when you interact more, when you watch more from different areas of the UK. But like apparently, there's like a thing that Scousers attached to the end of sentences. Somebody let me know what that means. I'd rather hear it from you guys who might know than try to go Google it. But I don't know if it's short for like lad or whatever. But let me know, because the video had me dying. And of course, I did share it with loads of people because that's what you do when you know footy fans. So, all right, let's move on to some transfer news because that's why we're here. So let's jump into the news of the day. So, because we got some updates here. Obviously, you guys saw the thumbnail, and we've been talking about this for a couple times now. But according to a Brazilian outlet, Trivela, and we'll talk about Trivela in a couple seconds here, talks between United and Wolves have progressed in recent days. The 24-year-old Brazilian João Gomes is expected to leave Wolves for Manchester United in a January deal worth around £44 million. So Trivela in Brazil claiming that United are going to be making a £44 million bid for João Gomes in January. Now, I put up a poll in the chat, so you guys could let me know. We're going to spend a couple minutes here talking about João Gomes. So for those of you who don't know much about Trivela, they're actually a very well-known Brazilian football outlet. They are a lot of times among the earliest to report on transfer news, any developments, especially with Brazilian players involved or Brazilian clubs involved. They're kind of are one of the earliest to know. They do have a lot of good credibility in the football fandom. And so I've seen they're honestly just they're considered a really good source, Brazilian football. So they and I think what people like about them too is that they offer a lot of tactical insight. I've read a few articles on Trivela over the years. Obviously, I have to get it translated because I don't speak Portuguese, but they offer tactical insight, but they are among the first in Brazil to kind of report on things. So Rob says in the UK, we're not sure of DNA of Scousers or where they came from. I have no, maybe they may come from the sewer or something. I don't know. So João Gomes, what do you guys make of João Gomes in general? I'm going to show you some numbers and statistics. Obviously, we did a little bit of a scout report on him last month when I went through my January deal video. You guys remember that one? Again, I'm not United. I'm not saying that I'm by all means qualified, but you're doing things that I've been talking about for a couple months now. You're signing players that I've scouted a couple months ago now. We're monitoring players that I've scouted a couple months ago. I'm just saying, I'm right here. I'll throw you my CV, United. But so that's coming from Trivela here. ESPN FC went on to claim this as well. So we've got conflicting reports because they said day prior that he's set to stay at Wolves in January following inquiries from European sides. Wolves will only listen to offers that are considered absurd and will want only over 70 million for him. So remember this. So this report from ESPN came out before the report from Trivela. And remember, we did speak on the Kickabout this week with Dylan about there being some sort of gentleman's agreement between Wolves and Rob Edwards that reportedly, he's asked and Wolves agree that none of their major players will be sold in January. So ahead of their match against Palace yesterday, which they lost 2-0, Edwards also admitted when it came to João Gomes that there is interest, but he's not aware of any development. So got reports. We've got conflicting reports. Rob Edwards has admitted, yes, there is interest, but that's about the gist of it. He just came in recently. I think yesterday was his first match in charge of Wolves. So I think that, of course, there's always interest, Premier League players, and it's hard. I mean, Wolves players do get picked off pretty quickly. Obviously, we got Cunha in the summer. Aït-Nouri went to City as well. I don't know how many minutes he's been getting there. Mateus Nunes also went to City as well. Didn't they have Vitinha there for a while before he went to PSG? If someone remind me of that, I can't remember. Obviously, Pedro Neto. They've lost a lot of players over the years, which is hard to keep recovering. I've said this about like Brighton. I said it about like Dortmund as well. It's all well and good if you want to be that club who exists on that. You want to be a selling club. You want to do really good recruitment, really good scouting, and then make a lot of money. That's fine if that's your model. But eventually you will have to start trying to turn that corner and challenge on the pitch a little bit. You have to put your foot down at some point and maybe go a season or two without selling your best players and try to actually be ambitious, maybe push for a top half finish and stuff like that. So it's diminishing returns over time. Eventually, it's just not enough to do it because you're just losing too many players. And I think it's more of a sure bet to keep hold of your good players for a year or two than it is to keep trying to roll the dice on recruitment. Now, they do a good job, but you're not always going to get it right. And so, but as far as João Gomez goes, let's look at some numbers here because I've got some numbers to look at. Like I said, we're looking at the numbers recently, so you guys can kind of see that, so I don't have to make it huge for you. So you can see this is his heat map from the last year, from this season. So again, it's very similar to the kind of heat map that I've put up here many times when I've compared midfielders that I've scouted or midfielders that were linked to, when I've compared them to the midfielders in Amorim's system at Sporting, Merida and Hillman. Very, very similar heat map. A lot of touches just inside the zone half, a lot of touches just inside the opposition half. So this is exactly the way Amorim wants his midfielders to play. So heat map already kind of suits an Amorim player from what we've seen over the last couple of years. Looking at his numbers, this is from the last year compared to midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues. Obviously, these are all from FBref. The heat maps from SofaScore, in case you guys ever want to go look up stuff on your own. But you can see as far as everything in the middle of the pitch, ball progression, carries, take-ons, all that above average. Is pretty much what you want from an all-around midfielder. Shot creating actions is average as well. And remember, average is not bad. Average is pretty much the same as everyone else. Now, the tackles are well above average. Literally top 4% is insane. That means he's better at tackles per 90 than 96% of other midfielders in the top 5 leagues. And the blocks are good too. Blocks means he knows how to get back and put himself in good positions to help out his defense and help out his keeper as well. I'd love to see his interception numbers go up, because, I think that represents, in my opinion, a better reading of the game. But he's also changed a little bit the way he plays in the last year or so. He came in and he was seen as maybe a bit of a physical presence. And now he's actually, as you can see, he's added a bit of ball progression. He's playing a little bit more daring passes. He's carrying that ball. He's shown a bit of press resistance as well. So I like what I see from him. And unlike Carlos Baleba, João Gomez is keeping his head down. He's working hard amidst all the transfer noise. He's not letting it get to his head. I like João Gomez. You guys know I've scouted João Gomez a couple times. Like I said, he was in my January deal video. I think he'd be an excellent Casemiro replacement. I think he's almost like for like. He's just not as experienced, obviously. I don't think he's as good. I think Casemiro's at his best is probably better than João Gomez will ever be at his best. But you never know. Could be wrong. I do think Casemiro has a little more passing range to him, but I'm also not paying $70 million for João Gomez. $44 million is the reported price from Trivela. $70 million at minimum is the reported price from ESPN. You guys let me know your thoughts. Let's see. Rob's got some thoughts here on some players that he likes. I like Ballard, Sunderland, as a Maguire. Yeah, Ballard had a pretty good performance the other week. I was watching him a little. I added him to my list. I'm just keeping an eye on him. And Hackney, I mean, you're already on my good side, Rob. You don't have to wave the Hayden Hackney flag. Anyone who's watched the channel for a while knows I'm on permanent Hayden Hackney watch on this channel. We love Hayden Hackney here. I'm always posting updates on Hayden Hackney. I think he's an excellent midfielder. Young, English. He's been playing English football for a while. I wish Michael Carrick was still there because maybe we could have utilized that connection. But I like Hayden Hackney a lot. He's an excellent player. But what are your thoughts on João Gomez? I put that poll in the chat. So far, we have 11 votes. 73% of you think that he absolutely improves us, and you would sign him for $44 million. It's at 27%. It says, no, he's not good enough. So I want to know the why. It's all well and good to give the opinion. I want to know the why. And again, it's not about right and wrong. I just want to know why you think the way you think. If you say, yes, I'd pay $44 million for him, like, I want to know what about him you like. If you say no, where are you coming from? The better options, cheaper options? Is it just the price tag? I will admit, I think $44 million is probably a little more than I'd want to pay personally. I just think when it comes to big money, I think Elliot Anderson is the only player right now that I'd spend big money on. But Anderson is also developing into quite a bit of a playmaker now these days. And at first, I thought maybe Anderson is that hustler, that ball winner, that physical presence. But now he's looking like maybe someone who could partner João Gomez a little bit. Interesting stuff. I think for me, I'm like maybe like 35 million, and maybe we can loan them Ugarte or a youngster for the rest of the season. I think you could get this done for like 35 million in add-ons. I think that would be easily done. But either way, I do think we need to strengthen in January. We've said that many, many times. Even if it's a loan for like a right player or right player. We good? Sorry about that. Y'all let me know if we're good here, because I think my internet just cut out for a second. All right, I think we're good. Give me a thumbs up if we're good, because I'm not sure what just happened there. Yeah, give me a thumbs up before I keep going, because I don't want to keep going if I lost everybody. Sorry for the dead air. I just want to make sure that we're all still here and everyone can still hear me. Thumbs up if you guys can hear me, and we'll keep going. Oh, cool. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mufc. Welcome to the channel too. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we were good here. So Mufc, welcome, says all of our midfield prospects, this is the only defensive one. Yeah, it's true. He is seen more as that defensive minded. As you can see, his tackles are well above average. And like maybe just I think he's obviously a little more mobile than Casemiro. Casemiro he's really got to win that first challenge, or you're getting by him altogether. You're either going to blow right by him, or Casemiro is going to draw a foul. That's just the way it is. So I do think maybe João Gomez would allow Bruno either to be played as a 10, especially during AFCON, or and in which case maybe we could see Kobbie Mainoo come in and get more minutes. So maybe you've got like a Bruno, Cunha, Šeško, 3, and then you've got like a Kobbie, João Gomez pivot going on. You've got Mount in there as well, Xerxes in there as well. I think that maybe it's a good way to get Kobbie more minutes during AFCON. I mean, Kobbie was back training today. I know he was injured last time out, so maybe we could see him in the matchday squad tomorrow. So, yeah, and like you said, yeah, a lot of those other midfielders are very similar. That's why we've asked many times on the channel, like, what is the pairing that you guys want to see? Because I do think in an ideal world, the pivot would be basically the same player. Ability on and off the ball, decent passing range, good mobility, good resilience, good mentality, good stamina, energy, all that stuff. It's very rare you're going to get both of those, all those qualities in 2 players in the same squad. And so you almost have to pick someone who's going to be more of a playmaker, like a Stiller, and then someone who's maybe going to be more of a physical presence, like, your João Gomez or something. You could have both. Maybe you've got like an Adam Wharton who's a little more of both. Elliot Anderson is turning in a little more of both. If you try to get Anderson and Wharton, it's going to be a lot of money. You're going to be dropping about 150 on those two if you want to get those. But thank you for letting me know. Danny's in the house. Big up, Danny B. It says, big up, pal. Just getting on the road to Jersey. Big up. See, Danny, I was going to ask you if you celebrated that. I know you're not, because you're from Ireland, right? And so I didn't know if you from Ireland, if you celebrate Thanksgiving. Obviously, we have Thanksgiving coming up this week, so there will be no kickabout on Wednesday because family, right? And then Thursday is Thanksgiving, so there's that as well. But safe travels, man. Appreciate that. Yes, do please hit that like button. It is appreciated. I've got 26 people in here. I don't know how many likes we got. I better see 26 likes when I go and refresh this page, or else I'm turning off the channel. We're turning the car around. 10 likes. 26 people in here, 10 likes, you guys. I think you have it in you to give me some more likes. I appreciate that. So Danny says Gomez is a better version of Ugarte. Yeah, we know Danny loves him some João Gomez. He's definitely an improvement, I think, when it comes to Ugarte for sure. I think that goes without question. The Bassy, big up. Welcome back, man. How you been? Gomez is a dog after a ball type player. But yeah, and as you can see though, too, if you look at the screen, his ball progression is actually very, very good, well above average for carrying the ball, for passing the ball. I've always thought it interesting when people look at like, oh, look at their, pass completion or something, or he plays a lot of progressive passing. I'm like, well, you got to look at all of it. It's great to play a lot of progressive balls, but if the completion is not there, then it doesn't really matter. You're just hoofing it. So, but as you can see, he's well above average in every single ball progression metric for midfielders, which I think is fine. I think that's good. So Rob says, Mbumo and Ahmad going to save my FPL week tomorrow. Nice. Rob says we need a better version of Casemiro. I think a better version of Casemiro, in my opinion, would be, it's hard to say better version because I think Casemiro is good. It's just we have to start planning for life without Casemiro. So I think, you're looking at someone like a Wharton, maybe like in the Metja at Dortmund. I think he's really, really good as well. There are players out there. There are a lot of physical. Agume is up there as a good option too. You can say Hackney too. I think Gomez is very, very good. I think if Gomez just worked it on his positioning a little bit, I think he could be a very good white for like replacement. Tabasi, yeah, we've scouted Buati once or twice on the channel. He's a good player. I like Buati a lot. He's having a very good season at Lille. Debasi says once Vivel sets his targets, we get that player. I have no problem with that. I'm here for it. Vivel and Wilcox, with the way we're looking at some of these young players, Keith Smith, obviously we did a deep dive video on Keith Smith last week. Go check that out if you want to know a little bit more about this young midfielder we've been linked with recently. I like the sort of players that we've been linked with. Rodrigo Moras, the Smiths. I liked Nippon. Obviously, Nippon went to City, and now he's at Middlesbrough, I think, on loan. But as far as like maybe Gomez coming in, maybe Bruno playing a little higher up, maybe Xerxes taking over for a hot second while Šeško. Do you think a Kobe and a Gomez pivot work? I think it could work. I think neither of them is going to have that elite passing range, but I think as far as just winning the ball, physical presence, and then kind of getting the ball forward, I think that Kobe offers that as well. Now, Fabrizio Romano did a video earlier. He reiterated that we are on Casemiro. We're trying to get Casemiro to lower his wages. And so a lot of people are just picking apart that video and saying, oh, United want to keep Casemiro for another year. Only if he lowers his wages. I think Fabrizio said like they want him on like half of what he's on now, which that's your guys' call. Would you guys keep Casemiro around, or are you just happy to let him go off into the sunset and go maybe back to Brazil or something? If we get, let's say hypothetically, we extend Casemiro's contract and Bruno ends up staying, I think that could mean we just get one midfielder. And I'd rather have us get two midfielders and really start this whole midfield rebuild. We've done it with the defense recently. We got Dorgu, we've got De Ligt, we got Yoro, we got Mazraoui. This past summer, we went hard in the paint on the attack. We got Šeško, Mbumo, Cunha. Our midfield needs attention. We're not great at handling the midfield. We tend to neglect that position quite a bit. And we tend to, I think, rely too much on players for too long, like guys like Matic, or in this case, maybe Bruno and Casemiro. We tend to, you got away with it in Fergie's day because he could do that, but I don't know if that's the way I like the way we do things. And that's not me criticizing Casemiro and Bruno. I think right now on paper, they're probably the best midfielders we have, and they're having tremendous seasons, but not to the detriment of the rebuild, unless Ugarte is sold. But if Casemiro were to stay on lower contract, if Bruno stays and doesn't go to a Saudi club, and I think it's one center mid. But you never know. I'm not a fortune teller, so who knows what he's doing. You guys are funny. But I don't know what you guys thought. What did you guys got in here in the poll? So 86% of you are now saying yes, João Gomez improves us. I do think he improves us. I do think he's an upgrade on Ugarte for sure. I do think he would be an adequate replacement for Casemiro. And I do think he'd be a good partner for Bruno. I think he'd be a good partner for Kabi. But I do also want to make sure we don't neglect that other position. Someone like a Keith Smith or somebody in that kind of creative, even if it's a young player. Even if you get João Gomez, Bruno stays, you've got Kabi, maybe you sell Ugarte, and then you've got a young kind of more ball progressing player that can kind of rotate in and learn a little bit. I wouldn't have a problem with that either. But we also have those players in the academy, and guys like Fletcher and Abragamov. Kone, I think, is very similar profile to what you're going to see from like João Gomez and whatnot. I think that we'll always want to make sure we're looking at the academy as well before we start looking at young players. Rob, yeah, I got to come back to your comment, but you did it for me again. Says Rob does not want Gomez, small and in a failing team. Premier League needs more physical players now. I mean, his tackles are in the top 4%. I mean, as far as physicality goes, and you can see he's progressive. I think the hard part with Wolves, it's always difficult when you've got a team who's just constantly selling its best players. If you look at who's playing next to him now, Andre's good, but who's the other guy, McKetsy or something? But I can't remember his name now. McKetsy, he's not good. They keep losing their best players, Wolves, and it's just, like I said earlier, you can only do that for so long before you just start to struggle. They lost 8 Nori as well. They just, obviously when you sack a manager in midseason, doesn't mean things are going well. I don't think Gomez is a bad player, but like I've said many times, if I'm rebuilding my midfield, is he my first choice? No. For 40-ish million in January, when we need to strengthen, I do think that he improves us. And I do think he's not going to be like Elliot Anderson. If we got Elliot Anderson in January, not going to happen. I would be like, yeah, that's top 4 locked in because Elliot Anderson, in my opinion, is that good. But I do think João Gomez is an upgrade on Ugarte. I do think he allows us to maybe even get the best out of Casemiro because now Casemiro maybe doesn't have to play every single match. He can show up in these big matches or play 60 minutes. Because now when we take off Casemiro at 60 minutes, our options are very thin. You know, we're bringing on Ugarte, and Ugarte is just such a massive step down. I do think that if you brought in João Gomez, is he going to do as much as well as Casemiro? Probably not. Is he going to be as bad as Ugarte? Absolutely not. He's going to be much better than Ugarte. And so it's hard to find that line between floor raisers and ceiling raisers. And I think Ugarte is good. I don't want to spend 44 million on him. Like I said, maybe 35 million and some add-ons. Maybe you could throw them Ugarte in a loan or something. Danny says, João Gomez, Anderson, Buwadi, I would love. I don't think we get Stiller. Yeah, I think Stiller is definitely, I mean, I know the story is Real Madrid. I'm pushing more towards a Bayern for Stiller. He ticks every single box for Bayern Munich personally. They need to replace some players. He's German. That's just the way they roll. Madrid have too many midfielders. Unless they literally sell Tchouaméni, Camavinga, the Madrid they have too many midfielders, and they need to look at right backs and whatnot. Because I don't think Trent is that guy. But JSN, welcome, man. Says, I don't see the point keeping Casemiro considering the wages he's on. Yeah. I mean, again, reports. And that's why I put it out there in the chat for you guys. You know, would you keep him around for, half of what he's making? What is Casemiro been on right now? Hold up. Casemiro wages. Let me see. Casemiro. Let me look at what he's on. So if he can get down to like half, that would be what we're reportedly going for right now. And my computers want to be slow. So is he still on 350K a week? That's insane. That's insane that he's on 350K a week. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't even want to do him for that. Because then you get to a point where you're spending 175K a week on a squad option. Like, would we ever pay Johnny Evans that much? Would you like? Probably not. Yeah, no, I hear it. So Danny says, I think Lacey steps up. Yeah, JJ, obviously, I think in a year or two could probably do it. Shea Lacey, I think we could absolutely see during AFCON. I would love to see Lacey on the bench during AFCON. I'd love to see Camison on the bench during AFCON as well. Fletcher has already been on the bench as well. We've seen Amorim also start Fredrickson and Amos against Wolves in last year's early. So I think he does trust youth. I think that he also just trusts the players that he has a lot as well. And so JSN's wanting to move Casemiro on. I have no problem if Casemiro leaves. If I had to choose right now, I'd probably lean more towards now. Just let him go for free. Let him go to like Botafogo or something and do his thing. And let's just really revamp this midfield. Rob says Casemiro's form will dive after the World Cup. Crazy to extend him. Yeah, I mean, again, it sounds like we're fine with it as a club as long as it's on lower wages. I just don't know if I'm fine with it at a club. Debasi says if Xavi gets fired. Are Madrid doing that bad? I like Arda Güler. I like him a lot. I liked him when he was at Fenerbahce. Let me check and see where Madrid are. What is La Liga looking like? So Madrid are in second. I mean, they're tied on points with Barcelona. I didn't think they were doing that. And they've got a game in hand. Are they doing bad? They played today? Oh man, Atletico got a win. There you go. Well done, Atleti. Although it was an OG, so doesn't really help. What Danny's saying here. So what was the name Dutch midpool side from Newcastle when they got relegated? Plays. Oh, you mean you talking about Wijnaldum? Gigi? Yeah. I love Gigi Wijnaldum. I was just thinking about him yesterday too because I saw his thing, his like something pop up on something for FC26, I think. So yeah, JSN, he's definitely developed into that box-to-box presence. You can see there from the ball progression numbers I've got on the screen. He's definitely, I mean, everything in midfield as far as ball progression is well above average, like minimum 60 percentile. So in all those metrics, the lowest one, he's better than 60% of the midfielders. So he's I think he suits Amorim's system. And like I said, I put up the heat map as well, so you can kind of see it matches what we saw from heat maps compared to like Morten Hjulman and Merida at Sporting when Amorim was there. So definitely plays in those positions, gets into those situations that Amorim wants his midfielders to get into. So I think he suits it to a T. He wouldn't be my first choice still. I would still opt for like Anderson and Wharton together or something, but beggars can't be choosers. But if we're going hard in the paint, if we really want to be ambitious, if we really want to push top four, especially maybe next year, you go big, you get the best you can get. So Rob says 2026, we could start spending like the heavyweights we are. Go big like you're Joshua fighting Jake Paul. Is that boxing? You guys know I don't watch boxing. Yeah, Debas, he is a workhorse. And I think that's big. If it's something I've said many times, it's a completely different recruitment strategy under Ineos. Look at all the players that we've been signing under them. They're workers. They've got energy. They've got mentality. Yes, not all of them have been home runs when it comes to quality, like Ugarte, for instance, but De Ligt, he's captain material. Mazraoui is a fighter as well. Yanni Yoro, like, look at the way he plays, man. I'm never nervous when Yanni Yoro's on the pitch. Cunha is a United player. He's always been a United player, even before we got him, the way he plays. Mbumo, dangerous. Shesko, coming in early, staying late, asking questions, working hard, runs his socks off. I think I read recently that we opted for him over another striker because of a lot of the work he put in off the ball. Shesko, again, work rate, mentality. I am absolutely like all over that. And like you say, yeah, we do need intensity. And I think that that's what we're looking at. Players who will give everything for, 90 minutes. Ryan's in the house. Big up, Ryan. Says, how's it going? I am going well, man. How are you doing? How's everybody's Sunday going? Anybody? You guys missed our laugh at Liverpool moment because we always do that on the channel. But says, why are we not going to get Ruben Neves? Only costs 18 million. That same video that I've been telling you guys about, that I did last month on the January deals. Not only was João Gomez in that video because Wolves' table position, but Ruben Neves was in that video as well because of his contract situation at Al Hilal. I think he's available for free this summer. Obviously, nobody wants to let a player walk for free unless you're United, apparently. But I did feature him. I love Ruben Neves. I've loved him since he was at Porto. This kid is a leader. He ticks so many boxes. A little older. I would have loved to have gotten him, before he went to Al Hilal. I think he would have been perfect for us. He is your Casemiro replacement, almost like for like. He's a leader. He's physical presence. He's not the quickest, but he's got a good passing range. He's got a good long range shot. I like him a lot. So I like Ruben Neves. Maybe you guys would opt for Ruben Neves over João Gomez in January for 18 million. Maybe that's a question. Let me put this out in the chat. Hold up. You guys know I like to get you guys involved. Hold on. Let me do this. So I'm going to end that chat. Seems like it's overwhelming in favor of João Gomez. I'm going to do another poll here, though, so bear with me for a hot second. Make sure you're hitting that like button and subscribe if you guys are new. Ruben Neves for 18 mil or João Gomez for 44 mil. All right. Go. You guys take it away. Oh man, am I really this blurry? Hold on, let me refresh this. Why am I so blurry? Am I that blurry for all you guys, or is it just my screen? That's rough. Let's see. Tobias says 18 million for now after United News up by 30 million. Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh boy. Y'all let me know. Am I really that blurry? Because I don't know what's going on. Because it should be that blurry. It doesn't look blurry on my screen. Ryan says Arsenal fans are celebrating the trophy. We've seen that story before. Arsenal fans always love celebrating early, man. It's insane what Arsenal fans are doing. That's hilarious. Let's see here. Yeah, someone let me know if it's really blurry on your guys' screen or if that's just the way my computer is looking right now, because if so, that's not okay. I know YouTube and just the internet in general has been having some issues over the last week or so. I know Twitter was down for several days, really. YouTube's kind of been iffy, so I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I put the poll in. Would you take Ruben Neves for 18 million or João Gomez for 44 million? So far, 73% of you are still going for João Gomez. Sounds like a lot of you are really, really all over João Gomez. Dang, is it really blurry? That's not good. I don't know how to fix that personally because I can't really refresh my my thing here. But that's a bummer. I don't know how to change that. So yikes. Well, sorry that's blurry. Something must have happened when I lost internet for a hot second. I'm afraid to refresh the page because I don't want to lose the stream altogether. So hopefully it gets a little better, and maybe it's just a YouTube thing because I'm not doing anything different on my end. So sorry about that, guys. I have no idea what's going on. I'm not IT, so I couldn't tell you, but sounds like something's going on here. But this is what happens sometimes when you do live shows. It happens. You can hear me, so that's all good. And we're not really looking at anything else on the screen. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'll leave João Gomez up there because on my screen, João Gomez looks fine. But for some reason, it might be my camera. I don't know. Because both of these are coming from the same computer, the João Gomez image and me. Maybe it's just the camera connection that's having some issues. But anyway, moving on. Ruben Amorim sat down recently to reflect on a year of managing Manchester United and really just managing in the Premier League in general. He had a couple things to say on his system, on his emotions and whatnot. So let's see what he had to say here. So he said, I think I changed as a coach. I see things a little bit different. I had an idea how to play, how to build up in certain ways, and I changed that. Here, and you see this in the Premier League, we are really focused on data. So you need to change the way you do things. You need to pay attention. So I like that he's kind of making these changes. He also had this to say. He said, of course, you want to play in a specific way, but you need to adapt. You need to understand where you need to play more possession, the way we win, some corners to push the opponents, all these things. So he's saying he's learning. He's kind of making some changes. He's relying a lot on data as well, which, hey, don't have a problem with that. It is the modern age. It is what it is. He said, I felt like last year I was really emotional all the time because I was struggling with the results. I'm always saying that this is going to take time, but I'm the guy that has the bigger responsibility to take care of everything and to control the emotions a little bit better. It's probably going to be referring to some of the comments that he made, especially last year, about United being the worst United team of all time, basically. Some of the things he said. I know we've had some issues with some of the things he's said. We've talked about that on the channel. We can applaud the honesty at one point. I think that sometimes it's just the way it comes across, like especially the whole, this is the worst United team ever. Sometimes it doesn't come across the best way. A stat was thrown out that United have the joint most first half goals so far in the league this season. I think we scored 11 goals in the first half, which is tied for most. But we've also conceded the most second half goals. We've conceded 14 goals in the second half than any other team in the league. Amorim was asked about this and he responded. And he said, I think we lose the intensity in the second half. I think we had some problems in some games that we lost. I think two times Casemiro because of some pain, Harry Maguire, the same thing. They are key players. not just in the way they play, the experience they have, the set pieces, and people don't take that into consideration. It's a lot of things together. I think we think about let's not suffer a goal, and our mindset should be we have one goal, we just need another opportunity to kill the game. So he's saying that it's mentality. He says, I think it's mental, but I think it's physical. We need to improve in that aspect. So he's saying that sometimes the way we think in certain game states, especially in the second half, is more concerned about not conceding and less about we need to just go score another one. I think personally that I've seen some mentality. He even said in his match day program, Amorim, ahead of tomorrow's kickoff, that United have improved as a team over the last year. He says we've improved in attitude and we've improved in spirit as well. Do you guys agree? Do you think that we've seen a shift? Do you think that we're better? What do you make of the report? I mean, he's basically stating like a drop off in intensity later on in the match. And he says that that's something we got to work on, that we keep worrying about conceding another goal rather than just going and killing a game. I think we have improved. I've seen some mentality. Obviously, we've switched off a couple of times, and especially in the last two matches against Forest and Spurs. And I think that we've seen a moment of switching off will cost you. But I think overall, and we've said this after those matches, I think last year we don't draw those matches. I think we still lose those matches. And this year I've seen a shift, and I've seen a bit more resilience, a bit more to unity from these players. Big up, Kai. Sorry, the blurry dude. Don't know what's going on with the internet, man. But as long as you guys can still hear me, I'm happy. Debazi says physicality goes on a holiday after 45 minutes. Yeah, I think you are going to start to see that from some of these players, especially some of the older players. And that's just part of it. That's just life. I feel it all the time. I'm 40. I was just kicking around the ball the other day ahead of the match preview. Again, if you haven't watched the match preview for the Everton match, go and watch that. Dylan joined me. We had a fun time. But your brain is just super sharp, right? But your body's just like, dude, it's not going to happen for you today, which is a bummer. So I can hear that. Danny says a little bit improving. Mentality lapses. Yeah, oh yeah. There's definitely those lapses, definitely those periods of switching off, just moments here and there, not watching the back post. Not coming out of that second half like switched on. We saw that against Forest. We saw that again against Spurs. This little things like that. Those will cost you, and it's a hard lesson to learn, and it sucks because we really should be higher up the table than we are. Like we should already be in 5th place right now, but it's just again those little moments, like they're like pebbles in the pond. It makes big ripples either way, and so we've got to do better than that. That to me is a focus thing. And when I say mentality, and when I say I see mentality improving, that I mean like the resilience, the fight back, the supporting each other. That I'm seeing a little bit more of an improvement on this year. But I thought those quotes were interesting from Amorim. I do think we have improved. I think the performances are catching up in a number of ways, personally, and I think that when the performances catch up to the stats, for instance, I think the results will follow suit. And I think we're seeing that as well. We had a chance to break into top 4 tomorrow, but Dirty Leeds ruined that by shitting the bed against Villa. Bournemouth, Sunderland, Spurs have all dropped points. I told you guys Eze was better than people thought, by the way. And so, yeah, while it's weird to think of Bournemouth, Sunderland, and Spurs as top 4 rivals, it's where the table is in the moment. These guys are dropping points. We really have an opportunity to grab hold of 5th place tomorrow. And I think the difference, and it sounds weird because it's such a small portion of the season, but I do think that how we deal with losing Mbumo, Ahmad, and Mazraoui at AFCON in a couple weeks, I think that is going to have a big impact on our potential for a top 4 finish this season. I know it was ambitious of us to think about a top 4 finish. I'm still not convinced, but looking at the way that how close the table is, if we could just put together an excellent run of form, take advantage of teams that are dropping points, and really manage losing players to AFCON, well, I think we could get out. This is our easiest run of fixtures right now. We have such an easy run of games on paper. Not going to be complacent and take it for granted, but we do have an opportunity. And we have to capitalize tomorrow. We have no excuse to not get 3 points tomorrow. We don't. Again, if you want some tactical insight, some team news, starting 11 predictions, all that stuff, go check out that match preview if you haven't yet done so. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Debussy says our butt is being saved by scoring the first goal and the last one. Yeah, we don't. I don't like that our center backs are scoring these match-saving goals right now. These point-saving goals. It's not a great place to be. It's really not a good look. But what are you gonna do? So yeah, interesting quotes there from Ruben Amorim. You guys, let me take him off the screen. I know it's gonna make everything super blurry, but it is what it is. Again, don't know what is going on with the blurriness, but as long as you guys can hear me, that's more important. But hopefully once the video is done and YouTube processes it up to HD, it'll look a little better. Otherwise, don't know. We'll see what happens. But interesting stuff on João Gomez. What did you guys say? So it ended up being split 50-50 between Ruben Neves and João Gomez. So I put the poll out there. Ruben Neves for 18 million, João Gomez for 44 million, 24 votes, 50-50. I think it's a good place to call it. I like both players. I think that obviously João Gomez represents a longer term possibility because he's, 24 now. I think Ruben Neves is 28, 27, 28. So you probably get 4 good seasons out of Ruben Neves. But again, I don't see Ruben Neves as the kind of signing that Ineos would probably go for. I mean, Sir Jim was very critical of the Casemiro signing. Obviously, we would never have to pay Ruben Neves the wages that he's on at Al Hilal because that's just ridiculous. We're not doing that. Not only we're getting away from that structure, but again, Sir Jim not happy with the Casemiro situation. When we signed him, $375K a week plus $100K in bonuses is a little bit ridiculous. I don't see it happening. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I just don't see Ineos doing something like that. I definitely see them going for someone like João Gomez over that. But I'd be happy with either. Like Danny says, either one. We just need to strengthen in January. And like you say, Anderson. If we're at all interested in Anderson, we need to go get that done like ASAP and just make sure we don't miss out on that opportunity because otherwise we will lose him. I'm struggling to think though, Danny, of any other club that will be in for Anderson. I can maybe see him like City pushing for him. Maybe if like Bernardo Silva were to leave and maybe Rodri's fitness is not great, but I just can't see any other club. They got Nipan already. Do they really need someone like that? I'm trying to think who else would take him. Like, is he going to get in? I mean, Chelsea already spent a lot on Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, so I don't see that happening. Arsenal keep buying midfielders. Don't see that happening. Spurs, maybe Spurs, but is that like a sideways step, really? I mean, come on, it's Spurs. Liverpool, maybe. Yeah, Rob says other teams keep dropping points. I agree with Sean. It's up to us to capitalize. Yeah, we have to capitalize. We have no choice. Then he says Liverpool. How many midfielders do they want? Liverpool bought 4 midfielders 2 summers ago. They bought McAllister, Gravenberch, Endo, and Szoboszlai. They bought Wirtz as well. Like, how many midfielders do they want to keep wasting money on and keep telling everybody that they need to spy? I mean, Jamie Carragher is happy to go out here and say, no, Liverpool need to spend in January. You spent the money. The problem is not the money you spent. The problem is Arne Slot, dude. Like, the guy he just looks lost. He is literally doing the same thing that Arteta did. He came in with someone else's team. He got himself a trophy. And once they started making some changes, losing some of those players or some of those big stars, started dropping in form. And once he started to implement his system and start that, like, it just didn't work. It doesn't work. And Liverpool fans are hounding him out and they want him sacked. Like, and they said a lot of Liverpool fans are not blaming it on anything other than just it's not good. After PSG last season in the Champions League, that's when they said that they saw it going. So, yeah, it is going to be a huge game on Monday. We better win. I mean, we know what we expect from a David Moyes side. If we can't go into that figuring out a way to defend against long ball counterattack football and crosses into the box, that really is the part that worries me, is just defending the crosses in the box because you can't give Grealish time and space to pick his pass. Njai's movement is going to cause problems. Switch on. I want Lamens coming off his line to collect those balls. I want people talking and pressure on Grealish. Like, look out for the movement. We showed you that stuff yesterday. Go back and look at that. Mikolenko and Grealish like to create these overloads on the left-hand side. We have to be alert to that. So Van Dickless is done. Solid. I'm so happy that Van Dickless is catching on. Danny said something like that earlier on one of the posts, and I'm like, if I hear one person not a part of the UVE community say Virgil Van Dickless just while I'm out and about or something, or if I see it pop up anywhere else, I'm gonna take credit for it and I'll die a happy man because that's awesome. But it looks like it's not as blurry anymore. That's awesome. Don't know what happened there, you guys. But in any case, I'm going to leave it there. A little bit of news, but I'm glad it was a really good conversation. Obviously, we talk a lot of transfer news on this channel. I do a lot of scouting reports. I do have my next scouting report ready to go. Probably hit you guys with that one sometime again. No kickabout this week because of the holiday. Not going to be 2 videos either for the match reaction because I'm going to a pub to watch the match with Dylan tomorrow. And then I've also doing trivia tomorrow about an hour and a half after that. So I'm not going to have time to do that. So Tuesday, I'll hit you with a video for the match reaction to the match, hopefully talking about 3 points. But usually we do 2, we do one day of, and we do 3 thoughts. We can't do it this week just because I've got a lot of other stuff going on. But you guys know you'll get something from me this week. So take it easy, you guys. Thank you guys for stopping by. Please make sure you like, subscribe the video. Please go hype old videos on your phone, please. It does the channel a lot of good. Remember, road to 3K. If we get there before Christmas, I will give the winner whatever they want from the mega store. I will go grab it. But appreciate you guys for stopping by, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Later.